A solo backpacking adventure into the Yosemite National Park backcountry, where everything I needed to survive the night in the wilderness was carried in my pack. Beginning at Glacier Point and trekking 5.5 miles south along the Panoramic Trail, also known as the Theodore Solomons Trail, to the start of the Merced Pass Trail, where I made camp along the picturesque shores of Illilouette Creek, where I had one of the most peaceful nights under the stars yet. The next day I hiked west towards the Mono Meadow Trail before heading directly north back out on the Buena Vista Trail, which connected back with the Panorama Trail. This was quite the adventure, especially the unexpected river crossing, and it begins now. Back on another adventure, just starting out on the Theodore Solomons Trail, also known as the trail that leads you from Glacier Point down to Illilouette Falls. Oh my goodness. Look at these views. It is a picture perfect day here in Yosemite National Park. And I'm so happy to be back outside once again. Brilliant view of Vernal Fall. And right above, Nevada Fall. Incredible. Those views, unbelievable. So my plan for this one is to camp out somewhere along the Illilouette Creek trail area. I think that's where the permitted camping is along this route. But before I do that, I'm gonna take the little side trail that will cut down to Illilouette Falls. And I believe there's a viewing point down there as well called Inspiration Point. So I'm gonna go there as well, check out the views, and then hike back up, kind of backtrack, and then go along the Illilouette drainage above the falls for some nice, relaxing camping. So good to know there's a water source about halfway down from the start of the trail. So good to know for tomorrow when I'm coming up. Won't have to bring a ton of water. There's a really good flow too. Filtered, of course. And even though that water looks safe to drink, fresh, because it's crystal clear, I would always filter it. So be forewarned, do not drink directly from the streams, as you could get really sick. First view of Illilouette Falls. Starting to go through some oaks as I descend down to Illilouette Creek. These look like last season's leaves. This is also the type of trail you have to watch out for rattlesnakes on, because as you descend, climate gets warmer, meaning there's more likelihood of rattlesnakes sunning themselves, digesting their food along the trail. So just keep that in mind when you're on these lower elevation hikes, that you watch out for the rattlesnakes. Coming across quite a few streams actually. This is good because it's pretty hot. This will give me a lot of options tomorrow for scooping up some water on the way back up. These views are just incredible. It's amazing as I go down this trail, keep getting a different perspective of Vernal Falls and Half Dome. I mean, now you can't even see the face of Half Dome as I go around it. Very interesting angles and views of this beautiful landscape. So I think I'm gonna go down to Illilouette Fall, check out the views, and then I might backtrack back up this way and find a camp spot. Illilouette Creek. Wow, it's moving pretty good. Wow, pretty quick. All fueled up, re-energized, got a full liter of water, ready to start heading back. Head back up and then rejoin that trail I was on when I came down and head up Illilouette Creek up this way. There's supposed to be some really good camp spots up there. So go find out. Back up at the junction, I'm gonna head towards Motto Meadows, see what's out here. I haven't seen a soul out here ever since I came up from the junction and made a left instead of going right, which would be back up to Glacier Point. I haven't seen anybody, and I'm probably already a mile down. So this is definitely the trail less traveled, that's for sure. I think the majority of people do Glacier Point to Illilouette to Nevada Fall down the Mist Trail. So I think this will be a very quiet trek down here. So we'll see what it's like. The trail has all of a sudden turned sharply down towards the river, so I'm heading downhill directly at Illilouette Creek. And I think this will then skirt along the trail where I'm hoping there's some nice campsites along the trail. Just pitch up and enjoy. I think I see some nice spots just right off the trail here. River's just slowly meandering through. Wow, there's no one here. How can that be? These are some good spots. Wow. Look at this. plenty of water. Wow, nice fire pit. Gosh, that's like professionally made. Look at this. Wow. Wow, even have a table with chair. Not bad. How come no one's here? Ah. Beautiful. This is nice. This is one of those campsites next to a creek that's not too loud as well. Normally you camp next to these rivers and creeks in the Sierra and it's really loud because the water's kind of rushing against rocks, but this is high enough that it's not loud, which is good. I can't believe no one's here. This is incredible. All these camp spots. Unreal. So I've decided to keep going, looking to see if there's any spots kind of that are open up with a view right along the creek. More of a river, actually. Can't believe they call this Illilouette Creek. This is a legitimate river that you cannot cross right now. Just gotta find a good one. That is definitely not a creek. That is a river. I think they need to rename Illilouette Creek to Illilouette River. That is moving. Just crossed the tiniest creek on my map, but it was not tiny. Pretty good current. My shoes are completely soaked. I just went in with my shoes. I'm glad I did, actually, because I could feel the current. So it was like a side creek that feeds into Illilouette Creek here. Didn't film it. Glad I didn't, because I needed my wide stance and my poles, so whew, all good. And I guess speaking to some people back there fishing, there's some pretty good camp spots about 0.5 miles up. So she says it goes up and then it kind of flattens out, and supposedly there's some campsites, so should be good. Check out these domes back here. Incredible. This is the Mono Meadow Trail. Wow, only 2.2. And I just came from Glacier Point, which was 3.5. And now this is the Merced Pass Trail. Flowing down to the creek. And this is where there's supposed to be quite a few good campsites. Oh, there's two trails here. What are these? So let's see. Oh, no way, Nevada Fall. Huh. So you can go to Nevada Fall from here. Wow. And that's the Buena Vista Lake. Interesting. Although I think you have to cross the creek with this, and there's no way right now. Quieter section of Illilouette. And probably a good little camp spot. Got the creek right here. Some other people camping over there. It's a pretty good camp spot though. Right in here. Get tucked back in here. This'll do. One thing I'm loving about this spot is all the water. Didn't have this luxury last time I was in Yosemite. This is great. Not a bad spot. Just had my feet in the water for a little while. Feel clean again. You see the, I think they're mayflies kind of hovering over the water, dipping in. It's a really nice evening. So we got the water boiling, and tonight's dinner is going to be chicken and dumplings. Really craving this tonight. Perfect meal after a good hike. I've got this new device I'm trying out. It's like a hanging closet. Waterproof, keep everything inside of it. Nice and organized. Pretty cool. I think we're ready to go. Oh yeah. That's probably way more than I need. Delicious. This has been a pretty relaxing day. Not that big of a hike. I think all in all, it was just under 4 miles coming down here. There's a pretty good descent coming down from Glacier Point all the way down to Illilouette. And then there's that back track from Illilouette back up to the main trail, and which turns into the Buena Vista Trail, I believe. And that continues on. Has a slight decline for a little ways, maybe a mile. There's some really good camp spots off to the left, right after you come back up from Illilouette. If you're going to go right to Glacier Point, you can get back up to Glacier Point pretty quickly, or you can go left, which is the way I did. So going upstream, up Illilouette Creek, which is more like a river, as you've seen today. And there's some really, really good camp spots immediately on your left, if you're going up that way. And I continued on another, I don't know, 1.5 to 2 miles. Crossed a creek that was moving pretty good. I didn't have the widest stance, and it kind of turned me a little bit. So tomorrow when I go back through it, I'm going to have a wider stance and probably pick a better place to actually go through it, because I just kind of went for it. Nothing dangerous. It's just, creeks, you really have to approach them as though they are very, very strong and deeper than they look. I think that's the best advice I can give, is act as though it's much deeper than it looks. Because I kind of approached it as, oh, it's just a small creek. I was told it's a little bit slippery, so I wore my shoes through it, which I'm glad I did, and they're drying out now in the sun. But I think the best approach is to act like it's really moving. It's deeper than it looks. It's slippery, so definitely use the trekking poles. And I just need to use a wider stance tomorrow when I go back through. I don't even know if this is going to go in the video, but just being out here really brings you back to what's important. Just slowing down, enjoying the simple things, the natural things. Anyone can do this. Get a backpack on, put what you need to survive the night in the back, hike out, camp. It's so simple and primitive, but it does so many things for you. So many good things for you. Andy? Andy? Just had dinner with some nice folks that are camping right next to me from the Bay Area, so that was nice. They invited me over to their fire, so I thought, yeah, why not? It was nice getting to chat with them. They also came in from Glacier Point. This is their second night, so I think that's gonna do it. I'm gonna get into bed, probably read a book, and call it a night pretty soon. And of course, got my smart wool. These have been my go-to. Just the best way to set yourself up to not be cold. Some smart wool leggings. Good morning. It's just after 5:30 a.m. Had a pretty good sleep. Woke up many times. I think due to the noise of the river. I'm not used to it. So I was constantly waking up and just debating if I'm gonna get up right now. I'm not one to lie in, so I think now that I'm up. The sun's not even up yet. It's barely light. The tent's all wet outside, so lots of condensation. I was very warm. That's why I woke up a lot too. I was really warm. But yeah, lots of condensation on the outside of the tent. And it either looks overcast outside or the sun's just not up. Take a peek. Take a first peek outside. Oh yeah, a little bit of condensation. Not too bad. First things first, grab some water. It's my neighbors. That dome over there, that's actually the King Star Dome, I believe it's called. In the backcountry. It's funny, I bring all these breakfast foods when I come out here backpacking, and I only eat them probably 20% of the time, just because in the morning, all I want is coffee, and I don't have an appetite ever in the morning. Just want to get some coffee, enjoy the surroundings, and then I'll start hiking, and then I normally won't eat until, I don't know, it's 6 right now, 6:30 actually. I won't eat until 9:30, 10. Just no appetite. It is a gorgeous morning out here. Clear blue skies. All right, completely cleared and clean campsite. Nothing left behind. All right. The sun coming up. The Mount Star over there. I think it's Mount Star. All right, everyone's still sleeping. So I was literally camped just about 200 yards up there off to the left along the bank. River's a little too deep and quick to be crossing it this time. That's actually one of the loops. You can actually keep going across and it goes up to Nevada Fall, but this time of year, a bit dicey. Back up to Glacier Point, about 3.5. Of course, that way's Mono Meadow. I'm getting close to that creek I crossed yesterday. And this is really the best time to cross a creek, is first thing in the morning. It's because this is the least amount of snowmelt at the moment. First thing in the morning when the temperatures are at its lowest for the day. So least amount of water coming through at once in total volume. So if you're gonna cross the stream, do it first thing in the morning. And I feel like I'll be all right crossing this. I didn't have a really wide stance yesterday at the onset. It kind of caused me to kind of almost lose my balance, which I haven't had that before. So it just goes to show, even for these small streams, just don't underestimate them, and always treat them as though they are really moving, because what you don't see is that current underneath the top surface. So you gotta really watch. But yeah, getting close. The trail goes down here, across the river. I go up along the ridge and I head back up the valley that way. So I'm kind of going like right where that peak is, straight up the valley. There's the Illilouette making a hard turn. And this is the river I crossed yesterday. Didn't film. And it looks shallowish. And like it's not moving that quick, but it I felt it. I'm gonna actually take a look up here, see if there's anywhere I could cross without having to get my feet wet. I've got my shoes. I will wear my shoes across just because for better grip. Forgot my Crocs. But there might be a better way to cross up here. Let me go take a look. I might be able to go right across through here. Just boulder hop. I just put my foot on this and that was like slick ice. That's not gonna work. I'm gonna go back and cross. Whew. Early in the morning, but still flowing pretty good. So this is just a side creek. Little blip on the map. And of course the Illilouette comes down and it heads straight that way, which I believe is west, right over the falls. So I'm soaked, but made it across safely. All good. One thing I did as well before I crossed was I undid my backpack straps. Also down here, so just in case I did fall in, I would have a chance of releasing my pack and not being taken down with my pack. So if you're gonna ford a river, always take off your pack. The straps, that is. Just so you're free. You can move around. A little tip. This is my favorite time to hike. First thing in the morning, the sun's coming up through the trees. It's not hot yet. The sun's still gentle. And there's really no one on the trail, if you're on a busy trail. This trail, I haven't seen anybody except the people I camped with last night. But just something about the early morning, the golden light going through the trees. It's amazing. I didn't really realize how far behind Half Dome I was. I'm pretty deep back here. Starting to really open up again. Getting these amazing views. And it's also starting to climb. So I am feeling the burn. But it's all good. It's a nice mellow burn. Looking back where I came from. Already getting warm too. It's only 7:45. Nice, I'm already back at the junction. Illilouette, just down the way, and just came from this way. Beautiful backcountry. And now up to Glacier Point, just 1.4. Not bad. It's gonna be a hot climb though. That is for sure. It's amazing how different everything looks in the morning compared to the afternoon. Everything's in shadows. Much better in the afternoon, I'd say. Even though I came out here yesterday, this still seems surreal to me to be out in this type of scenic landscape. It's kind of in my backyard, but just always so inspired by it. Never gets old. Just made it to the switchbacks. So I'm getting pretty close. It is getting really warm. It's only 8:30. I think I left at 6:30. And so I've been hiking about 2 hours and it's getting very warm. But the views are starting to become even better and better. Better light as well. Almost there. I can't believe it. I'm already at the top. Not a bad hike up at all. Just take a nice slow pace, drink water, easy. And now I gotta hike up to Washburn Point because that is where my car is. There was no parking at the main trailhead yesterday. So I'm gonna hike back up. Complete.